The presidential elections are coming up. The climate is political. Yeah, I would be remiss if I didn't ask about that. From a strictly business perspective, for entrepreneurs, small businesses, do you have a preference in terms of either the candidates who you think is better for business?
Yeah, so I have a pretty strong preference for setting aside the business, the candidate that I think is better. And what I would say is, look, there's a short-term view and a longer-term view to this question. And I think in the short term, there's one candidate who probably will be somewhat better for business overall, but will be particularly good for the top 1% of the population. And so, and that will get a lot more attention than what is going on for the population overall. And this person has a lot more reputation for being a business person. And so in a lot of people's minds, that person is the business person, the other person is the not business person. But what actually is true, and I'm not lobbying for a vote, but the economy, employment, growth of the economy, and that sort of thing actually has done better under Democratic presidents than Republican presidents historically. And so while you think of Republicans as being more business friendly, tax cutting, and that sort of thing, there are puts and takes in a lot of these equations. And so, it doesn't always play out in the workplace like, you think it should based on the arguments that are made. For sure, I think one candidate will definitely help the richest of the rich. There's no question about that. That's what happened in that candidate's prior term. And what I would say from me is I'm fiscally conservative and socially liberal, so I'm not really affiliated with either party. But that's a bit of a long-winded, windy way of what I think about the business impact of either of these presidents.
Yeah, I really loved the description, fiscally conservative and socially liberal. I think this is, I think a lot of my viewers feel the same way, and they just have no home.
See, and it's interesting that and in some ways I'm glad and sad that you say that, because I talk to my friends all the time, and I want to, why are there not candidates that are like me? Right? I want small government. I want lower taxes. Those things are good. But I also want people to have freedom to live their lives the way they want to live them. Okay. And so why there are not more candidates like that is something that I've never figured out. But to your point, I think it's sad, at least in this country, there really aren't choices that are like that.